Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to take just a couple minutes to allow people to join us and filter in, but we really appreciate you taking this Wednesday afternoon to spend some time with us and hear about this year's call for proposals for the 2025 Academic Partnerships Joint Annual Meeting taking place in Reno, Nevada, April 23rd through 25th next year in 2025. Please be aware that this meeting is being recorded. My name is Olivia Tufo. I'm the Manager of Community Engagement and Development, and I'm joined by my colleagues, Kay Holstrom, Director of Operations, and Camelia Naranjo, who is our Assistant Director of Academic Partnerships, Learning, and Development. I believe we may or may not have our administrative assistant with us today, Annika Hansen-White, who will be monitoring the chat. We are your WICHE team, and we will be doing our best to keep up with all of your questions. You see we have a couple people coming in, so I'll just say thank you once again for taking time this Wednesday afternoon to hear a little bit about next year's annual meeting. Before we get fully underway, I'll just do a little bit of brief housekeeping. This Zoom is structured as a meeting, so you're welcome to come off of mute to ask questions, but we do ask that you remain muted unless you are speaking to help prevent ambient noise issues. You're also welcome to put your questions into the chat. I want to reiterate for those of you who came in a little bit later that this session is being recorded. And I will distribute the recording and slides no later than Friday, August 23rd. So that's this coming Friday. We're going to try and get these out to you pretty quickly. There's going to be time for Q&A at the end of our session, but please feel free to ask questions as they occur to you. The call for proposals will remain open until October 31st, 2024. So you have some time to come up with your ideas and gather your teams. We'll be notifying the selected speakers no later than Friday, November 22nd. So we hope that by the time you leave for your Thanksgiving break, you will know what your travel plans need to be for the spring. WICHE typically schedules an organizing call with our speakers to get a better idea of your AV needs, and we anticipate that those calls will be arranged in early 2025. We will request that all materials, such as your PowerPoint deck, your handouts, be submitted to WICHE no later than April 7th, 2025. And once again, the annual meeting, your save the date, is April 23rd through 25th, 2025 in Reno, Nevada. With that, I'm going to hand it off to my colleague Camelia to discuss a little bit about our theme.
Thank you, Olivia. I'm Camelia Naranjo, the Assistant Director of Academic Partnerships, Learning and Development. Just to give you a little bit of history, this past July, both executive committees for the Forum and the Alliance met and brainstormed a myriad of topics, everything from the value proposition of higher ed to transfer processes to enrollment and retention. And as we examined ways to address topics and areas of interest and concern for higher ed in the upcoming years, the theme partnerships stronger together arose. And because, as you know, we can't address those concerns without partnerships. So the partnerships theme really does focus on what your institution does to collaborate with partners. How can your programs or departments support each other? And so we're looking for proposals that will address how and who your institutions collaborate with and partner with, and how these partnerships help advance programs, research, or even community engagement. We're looking for sessions with a special emphasis on actionable takeaways for attendees. So we really want something that has a call to action, a toolkit, or a handbook or guide that attendees can leave your session with and bring back to their campuses. We want to make sure that we are providing everybody with an opportunity to really understand your programs and partnerships and how they may be able to model that on their campus. So we do have additional session types this year. We tried to make sure that we were meeting the needs of all of our past presenters and attendees' requests. So we diversified our session types. You'll see in the call for proposals that we'll ask you to rank your preference in the session type, and we'll do our best to schedule you the session format that you prefer. For each session type, we do ask again that you still include that actionable takeaway for attendees. And we have these 4 areas. The lightning session, which is a quick fire idea, kind of TED Talk view, if you will, to really identify case studies or tips and tricks, a quick overview of programs that you may be doing on your campus that others can take back with them. We are asking for a 40-minute interactive presentation with a 10-minute Q&A, so a total of 50 minutes. And this is really where folks will delve into some subject matter. They might have demonstrations, discussions, or even case studies that they're working through. But again, this is an interactive presentation. We also have the session format of a panel discussion. Again, 40 minutes with 10-minute Q&A, so a total of 50 minutes. And this is where you may invite experts from across your institution or across multiple institutions to really explore the theme, challenges, and opportunities, a panel of experts that speak to the work that you've done. And then lastly, problem-solving roundtables. And this is where folks can come up with a case study where you might have resolved a problem or need support in resolving a problem on campus, and facilitate conversation and discussion to really help resolve any of the issues that arose based on those case studies. So that being said, we do have those 4 session types for you to select from. As this is the first year that we're doing this, we'll see which ones kind of come to the surface. But please do put your preference and we'll do our best to meet that. Looking at the selection criteria, we really want to make sure that the sessions that you put together are that interactive and practical approach, where again, you have that clear takeaway. We also want the relevancy and the alignment with the theme. That would be enhanced with clear learning objectives and how those learning objectives relate to the theme of partnerships. We want to know your experience, the participants' experience, the experience and expertise of the presenters, as well as how is this topic relevant to the audience. We do consider the duration and logistics of the session type and do our best to meet the needs with AV or any sort of equipment that you might need. And then we want to make sure that you also have an area where you have an assessment and evaluation feedback loop, so that we can support you in future offerings of this. So I'll pass it over to Kay now on how to submit a proposal.
So if you would like to submit a proposal, you can use the link that Annika is going to be posting in the chat. And again, the deadline is October 31st. Also, the links that are in this slideshow will be active in the version that Olivia is sending out to you. And so do we have any questions at this point? Okay. Kevin?
Perhaps, Kay, not so much a question as an observation. I note that we don't have many people on this Zoom call.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about how to get the word out more broadly to get folks to submit their ideas. you have thoughts on that?
Yes, yes. So we will be sending out the presentation to the listservs. And we will also be posting the links to get to the website on the listservs also. And so we are hoping that we had several other people that registered, but just probably couldn't make it for whatever reason. But that's how we plan to handle that. Do you have any other suggestions, Kevin?
No, not really, but I'm glad that you'll be sending it out and yeah, I appreciate this presentation, but this isn't going to get the type of feedback that you need to have a robust meeting, obviously. So, yeah.
Right.
Kevin,
Right.
I'm also working with the Witchy Communications Department to create a LinkedIn campaign for people who, we all get a lot of email in our inbox.
Yeah.
And so sometimes email is not always the best way to reach people. So we will also be trying to reach people via LinkedIn and also sharing all of these resources and materials on the general Witchy mailer. So that way, those people who maybe prioritize opening the emailer or just have better timing when they get email from our larger sort of witchy newsletter, they'll get it that way as well. So we are trying to spread it wide. And as I said, this call for proposals will remain open until October 31st. So we have a little bit of time to try and rally the troops. And all of you who are on this call can also help us out by sharing it amongst your networks, whether that be via email, LinkedIn, or at staff meetings, or if you just know someone who has a really interesting initiative that you think fits the brief of working through partnerships for stronger pathways for higher education. I think that, we would certainly appreciate if you reach out to your colleagues directly, or if you just think that there's someone we should reach out to, you can just pass on a name. We can also handle it that way.
Great. Thanks, Olivia.
So some of the frequently asked questions that we do get is especially if you are going to be a non-member that is presenting, or part of your panel may be someone outside of the forum and alliance groups. There is a registration fee, but it is discounted. And so we suggest that you don't register until you find out whether or not your proposal is accepted, just to make sure we can get all of that in the system correctly. You do not, as I said, have to be a member of the Forum and Alliance in order to submit a proposal. We take them from a variety of sources. Our Forum and Alliance are mostly made up of chief academic officers from institutions in the West, but we also are trying to expand that to include other levels of leadership in the institutions in order to attend the meeting. Those who will be selecting the proposals are the vice chairs from our executive committees. They will put together subcommittees of other executive committee members, and they will be assessing the proposals and figuring out which ones will best meet our needs and the theme. And yes, we can have multiple institutions or multiple proposals, I'm sorry, from an institution, but we do want to try and get a lot of different types of institutions to submit. Do we have any other questions?
I'm just wondering are we reaching out to University of Nevada, Reno? Are they going to have an opportunity for a session of some type, or does the host institution usually have some sort of role in the meeting, or are they just going to be another participant?
Our host is actually Truckee Meadows Community College this year. So we hope to reach out to all local
it's Truckee Meadows,
institutions.
okay.
Yeah, we hope to reach out to all local institutions. That's always sort of our lowest hanging fruit as regards to getting people to travel to the meeting. It's local for them. So we hope that they can take advantage of being in their community and also inviting community members who they might be partnering with. And the chair of the Alliance, Dr. Jeff Alexander, who is at Truckee Meadows Community College, has taken a very strong role in promoting both the call for proposals and the meeting itself. I would not be surprised if we get proposals from Truckee Meadows. They're not required to, but we hope that they will. We'll be encouraging them to. And certainly our host will have an opportunity to help us ground this meeting locally and help us understand what is unique to what's happening in Northern Nevada.
Very good. Thank you.
I know we had a couple of folks join us a little bit late, so don't be shy if you have questions. We kind of breezed through a few broad points, but the majority of this session is to create space for you and your questions. And if there aren't any more questions, we can certainly release people early and let them get back to their day. You can also put questions in the chat if you don't want to come off camera or off mute. Thank you, Kay, for dropping that link. That link that is in the chat is where you can find the written call for proposals that covers a lot of the same details that we had here today, as well as the actual form, the online form that you'll use to submit your proposal for us to review.
Well, if we don't have any more questions, you are also welcome to reach out to any of us. If you think of something that you need an answer to, please reach out to either Olivia, myself, or Camelia. We'd be glad to answer your questions. Please put the save the date in your calendar for April 23rd to the 25th in Reno, Nevada.
Thank you,
And
folks.
yeah, before I let you all go, I have to do my obligatory plug. We need to thank our sponsors, Academic Search, College Board, and Ed2Go. These sponsors generously support the Alliance and the Forum for the full academic year, including the annual meetings. So we always have to give them their props. And here's our contact information. As I said, I'll be sending out these meeting materials no later than this Friday, and that'll include these email addresses. So don't be shy. Oh, Helen, I see your question here. It's not accessing the submit proposals form. Let me see here.
The link I get says you don't have permission to view or respond to this form.
That is an issue, Helen. I'm the controller on that, so I can go in and edit it and make sure that it's accessible by people outside of Witchy. My guess is that it's those old default controls where it probably defaulted to only people within Witchy can look at this. So I will update that before I send out the materials so that we can achieve our goal of having more people propose. So thank you for catching that. I apologize. That's an important thing. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for taking time to attend this lightning fast info session. You'll be getting the materials soon, and I very strongly encourage you to please share this throughout your community with your colleagues and with anyone who you think might have interest in talking about how we partner across institutions of higher education and with workforce partners. Thanks so much. Have a great day.